Reincarnation of a king long gone, the highest enlightened nigga sitting on top of the sun. An angel.
Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Danny, aka King Bub, and we are back for week 2 of the Battle Union. So we are going up against Eric, aka Ashton, Akai, and the Bristol Bidoofs. And if you guys did not watch the team builder, make sure you watch it. Put it up yesterday, Thursday, because today's Friday. Yes. So I put it up yesterday. So if you want to look at my sets and you want to look at all of Eric's team and what I think he might bring and what all that good stuff, check out the team analysis because it's over there. So yeah. So as you can see here, Eric has brought the Chandelure, Uniclus, Amoonguss, Mega Altaria, Hitmonlee, and Fortress. So Chandelure, I knew it was gonna come because right from the start, as soon as I looked at the matchup, I saw that it was a huge threat that I did not have much against. So like his Shadow Balls are really good against my team. So Chandelure was gonna be a big problem. I had to make sure that I did take it down as soon as possible. Reuniclus, a big wall. I love Reuniclus, one of my favorite Pokemons. I love using it. I used it in already 2 draft leagues. And it's just really good, and it's gonna be tough to take down. Amoonguss also extremely well. Mega Altaria, my favorite Mega of all time, and it put in work last week for him, so it's a little bit scary. Hitmonlee, I also love because just the Unburden and just hits so hard. Fake out, and it's hard to take hits from Hitmonlee. And then Fortress, which I wasn't sure was gonna come, but obviously it came, so there it is. And if you look at my team, we got Rotom-wash with his choice specs, Assault Vest, Dragalge. We got defensive Uxie, yeah, defensive Uxie, Mega Galate, physical attacker, mixed Skarmory, and then mixed Whimsicott. So let's get into the battle. So this is a long match, so I'm gonna try to go through it a little bit fast so I can talk about everything after the battle and everything, all the thinking and everything that happened. So yeah, so I lead off with Cherry, the Rotom-wash. I almost said Whimsicott, and he starts with Fortress, which I knew would start, and I was just gonna go for a Volt Switch because it did some work. It did good damage to Fortress, not enough to open the Custap Berry if he did have it. But of course, in comes Amoonguss, who was such a big wall against my my Rotom. I probably should have went for HP Ice a few times. Obviously, the match just started, so I'm not gonna go for HP Ice. I'm gonna go for the safe Volt Switch, and I should go straight into my Skarmory. And he switches out his Amoonguss, so I go for Brave Bird just to play it safe, and his Fortress comes in and takes it really well. It has leftovers, so it does not have the Custap Berry, so we do know that now. And it takes it really well, but it still gets a good chunk of damage done, especially the Fortress cannot heal itself, so we do get that benefit. So I switch out my Skarmory, and I think I go back into Rotom here. Yeah, I go back into Rotom because I could just keep Volt Switching out on this Fortress and just dwindling it down constantly can really help out my team, especially if I can get rid of rocks and Fortress is gone. I'll no longer have rocks, so I had to make sure that I do keep the pressure going in the beginning because his team's really bulky, and I had to read switches and I had to play offensively because that would be the only way I can really win this matchup. So I go for the Hydro Pump, and it does a good chunk of damage to Amoonguss, but obviously not nearly enough. And I am choice spec, so it actually really took that extremely well. And here he goes for the Spore, and this is why I had safety goggles on my Skarmory, because I did not want it to be spored by Amoonguss, and because it's my wall against Amoonguss. So he goes back into Fortress, and I believe I go for the Defox so I could get rid of them rocks. And the Fortress comes in, so he's been switching his Fortress in on my Skarmory the whole time, but I've been switching my Skarmory on his Amoonguss the whole time, so it's kind of like an even trade right there. But I go for the Defog here. I switch out, I believe, into Dragalge, because Dragalge, I do carry the HP Fire, and if he was a defensive Fortress, then it gets one hit KO'd. So I put enough EVs to try to speed creep this Fortress, and as you will see in this next turn, Eric did the same thing. He put enough speed, and I think we actually speed tie. We both, I think we're at 66 speed. So I was actually shocked about that, even though HP Fire wouldn't have killed and he would have got that Earthquake anyways, which HP Fire did a lot to it, but right when I saw how much it did, I knew he was especially defensive Fortress, and I was like, uh-oh, that's not good, because then Dragalge just lost so much health. and Dragalge is really important to this team. So that was a really bad play on my part. I mean, I didn't know the Earthquake was coming, but it's kind of obvious. Not obvious, but you know what I mean. So I switched out into Skarmory because I did not want my Dragalge to die just yet, because like I said, it's really important. So here I go for Brave Bird, and he goes into his Chandelure, which I got extremely scared because I was not gonna be able to take Thrower, obviously, and I really do not have that many switches into his Chandelure. This thing is extremely scary, and it's just really hard to switch into. I switch into my Dragalge, which I really do regret, because Dragalge, like I said in the team builder, it's extremely important to this team, to dwindle this team down, because it's so defensive. But I don't know, I played Dragalge extremely wrong, and that's completely my fault, because Dragalge could have put so much work in. But like I said, I played it wrong, and it just shows right now. It shows that now it's gone. My big win condition is gone, and I can't really do much more than that without Dragalge. It's tough. I had to break down his walls, and Dragalge was a big offensive wall breaker, and now it's gone. But obviously, I have to keep going, and I go into Rotom because I knew a Volt Switch would do enough to kill his Chandelure, so that's what I did. And here I'd probably go back into Skarmory. I didn't want anything to fall asleep. That's why I kept switching into Skarmory, which kind of made it really obvious throughout the game, because like Eric could probably just keep thinking he's always gonna switch into Skarmory no matter what. So here I went for the Defox. I knew he would switch out. Amoonguss is a big threat against my team, so I knew he would switch out, and I just want to get some health back. In comes his Reuniclus, which was also a huge problem. This thing is just a wall, man. That is why I love Reuniclus, because it's such a big wall that can do so much work. It can Calm Mind and all that stuff. So I had a feeling it was gonna Calm Mind. Just wanted to test it out, because my Whimsicott could take anything from this Reuniclus, and you know, just take anything and do some decent damage with Moonblast. So I get my leftovers. He goes for Calm Mind, and I just go for the Encore just to keep it into that Calm Mind setup phase, so I could try to do something to this Reuniclus, because I have not touched almost anything on his team. I've only hurt the Fortress, and I could see the Fortress is really not that important for his team, and he's already hurt a lot of my team, taking out Dragalge and stuff like that. So what's it called? So I have to start doing something. I have to start doing something, because I'm not doing anything at all right now. So I go into my Mega Gallade, and I do believe he switches into Amoonguss here. Yeah, I switched into Mega Gallade because he's obviously in Calm Mind, so I could try to get my Mega Evolution up and stuff like that. And here, when I was doing the battle, I was like, I should not go for Zen Headbutt. I feel like he has a berry or something. I feel like he has the Psychic Berry. I forget what it's called. But I told myself, don't do it, and then I did it. So I was just like, why am I not like listening to myself? Like I don't understand what I was doing this match. I wasn't listening to my gut, pretty much, which in Pokemon you need to listen to, because then if you don't, it's gonna be tough to take down. So you go for a Foul Play, which does so much damage because my attack is extremely high. Obviously, Mega Gallade's attack is so high, and it does a lot of damage. So once again, I knew he was gonna switch into Reuniclus, because why would he want his Amoonguss to die? But I didn't listen to myself, and I just went for the Zen Headbutt when I could have just went for a knockoff. And I was playing it too safe this game. I was playing a little bit too safe. I wasn't trusting myself, and so far it's showing that I wasn't playing too well, because a lot of my mons are getting hurt a lot, while his mons are just taking the hits and being able to dish out a lot of damage. So I go for the Volt Switch, and his Reuniclus actually does not take that well at all, so it did a lot of damage. So I kind of wish I went for the Thunderbolt, because that would have been nice, but then I would have lost my Rotom. But it would have done so much damage to Reuniclus, and Reuniclus is a huge wall that I could have took down right there. So I should, if playing it safe, I should have played it safe there and went for the Hydro Pump or the Thunderbolt or something, and I would have at least done so much damage for something else to come in and kill it, pretty much. So, and he goes for the Recover, and here I was just like, okay, this is bad. I finally got the Reuniclus down to such a low health, and now it's got Recover, so I really can't do much about that. So I saw my Skarmory cannot touch this Reuniclus. Right when I did that Brave Bird, I knew that Reuniclus was what's it called? Was defensive. There you go. Sorry, I'm a little, I don't know what's going on, but it's defensive. So it's defensive, so Skarmory's not gonna be able to touch it. Reuniclus can't touch my Skarmory either, but like it's just gonna be a war of me Brave Birding and him recovering, and I just don't feel like playing that game. Here I switched into Skarmory, reading his switch into Amoonguss. So I was doing some good switches, but I wasn't really doing much with it. So here I think he goes back into he goes into his fortress here, which makes sense because he can kind of sack this thing. So I go for Roost, knowing he's not gonna sack his Amoonguss, because Amoonguss is a huge wall against my Whimsicott and my Rotom. So obviously he's not gonna let me take that thing down. And in here is his fortress here. So I go for the Brave Bird, just at least trying to take something down, you know, make me feel a little better. So I go for a Brave Bird, and I think he thought I was gonna defog, so he went for the rocks again. And unless he just has nothing to touch me, I think he had Earthquake. Obviously they can't touch me. So I don't know. Maybe he did think that I was gonna do that or not. But I think here he goes back into Reuniclus, and I go for another Brave Bird, trying to take down the fortress. And once again, Brave Bird does nothing to Reuniclus. It's fully physically defensive, and it does not do enough for me to really stay in here and play this game. So I'm gonna switch out. Oh, sorry about that. I'm gonna switch out to Whimsicott just in case he wants to Calm Mind again. I forget what he goes for. Does he go for the Psyshock? I don't think so, actually. He goes. Oh, he withdraw. Okay, so I guess he saw me switching into Whimsicott. Or not even, because switching into Chandelure is obviously the best bet, because Chandelure can hit anything on my team and it will obviously destroy my Skarmory. So he switched into Chandelure, and like I really have nothing for this Chandelure. Like I knew it was a threat, and I feel like I didn't prep enough for it. So here he goes for the safe Flamethrower, which does so much damage. Does so much damage to my Uxie, and I completely forgot he had rocks up, and that's gonna come up big later on. I'll explain later, but I forgot he had rocks on, so just remember that. So he goes for the Flamethrower. I knew it wouldn't kill me, so I just go for the safe Shadow Ball, trying to take this Chandelure down, at least to some health, to some low health. And he goes into Fortress, comes in, it takes it, but I kill it with one more, and I get the special defense drop. So here I should have just took the chance to start trying to set up with Uxie. That would have been nice if I would have done that. I thought he might have Explosion, that's why I didn't want to do it, but it would have been good if I did it, because then his Chandelure wouldn't have had enough to take me down. I would have been too bulky. So I was thinking about it, but I told myself no. So once again, I was just not following my gut, and I hate when I don't follow my gut. I don't know what I was thinking, but he goes into his Altaria, and in team prep I told myself I feel like he's gonna bring out substitute Altaria, but either way I went for the Yawn just to be safe in case he wants to set up on me, and he does bring out the substitute, so I was like, god damn it. So Yawn obviously is not gonna work behind the substitute, and I'm just behind in this match the whole time. I'm just behind. He's playing. Eric is just an extremely good player, and he's playing so well around my team. So I go into Whimsicott. I knew I could take one return. I could take pretty much anything besides a Fire Blast, but I didn't think he'd go for a Fire Blast. And he does go for the return, and it does a lot of damage, but I knew I'll be able to live it and at least do something to it. I could Encore it into return so Skarmory can come in, but still, that wouldn't really do much. All I have to do is switch to a Reuniclus and Chandelure. But he switches out because he thought I had Infiltrator, which was a set I was thinking of bringing and didn't bring it, but I'll explain that later. So I go for Encore, and obviously I'm not gonna stay in against this Amoonguss, who is still at full health, because that Regenerator core is just too much. Regenerator, Reuniclus, and Amoonguss is just an extremely good core. So that was a really good bring from Eric, which makes total sense. So he knew I was gonna switch into Skarmory, so it was the obvious switch, and he can just switch right back into Chandelure, which completely just destroys my team now because I had like nothing for it. So I was just like thinking, okay, this Chandelure is just gonna do some work right now. I really have nothing for it. I can't really do much. He goes for the Flamethrower. My Uxie takes so much damage from that. I knew I wasn't gonna live another one, and I was not gonna switch anybody because no one can really switch into a Flamethrower. I don't have Crook. I don't have what's it called, Infernape or anything like that. Even Infernape probably won't take it that well. So I go into my Mega Glade thinking that he was Specs for some reason. I did some calcs on Uxie and I forgot that he had rocks, and I thought that his flamethrower did more than half, and that was only with Specs. So I was like, alright, he has to be Specs I can knock off and take this thing out. And then he outspeeded me obviously, so he was Scarf, and I was like, damn it. Like, then I looked at the calc and I was like, damn it, I forgot about rocks. So I was just like, oh well, shit happens. So I went into my Whimsicott just so I can set up a Tailwind, because I can't really do much more than that. Nothing's gonna outspeed this Chandelure left on my team, and everything would just die to his flamethrower. So that's really the only thing I had left. So as you can see here, my Pokemon is just getting taken down by Chandelure, who did so much work getting 4 kills against my team. That's amazing. So I go into Rotom because it's my only safe thing I could bring in, because now I know I'm gonna outspeed. And I believe I go for the Volt Switch, which was kind of stupid also, because I'm just wasting turns of Tailwind, but I guess it doesn't really matter because either way I would like outspeed Amoonguss and things like that. But my Volt Switch probably go back into Scarm because I have nothing else against this Amoonguss, and I only have Rotom and Scarm, so I have no choice but to go into Scarm. So he probably switches here back into Reuniclus. I'm starting to forget a little bit what's going on, but I'm just thinking what makes the most sense. So yeah, he does switch into Reuniclus. I go for Braver once again. Not gonna do anything. I have nothing to touch with Reuniclus with Skarmory. The only thing I could really do is try to get some Hydro Pumps on Reuniclus with my Rotom. So I go back into Rotom, hoping he does not go for like a Psyshock or anything, reading my switch, and he goes for Calm Mind. So here I go for a Hydro Pump, but I miss, I believe I miss, and he just goes for Recover, which is a safe play, because in case he couldn't take a Hydro Pump, because he would not be able to take 2, so if he didn't go for Recover there, he wouldn't be able to take a second one. But it didn't matter because he would have killed my Rotom anyways. So I switch out because I knew I wasn't going to be able to do anything. I did not want to miss another Hydro Pump. I believe here he goes for the Energy Ball, which Skarmory takes extremely well. And I go for the Defog to get them rocks away so Rotom can have one more switch in and at least try to do something, you know what I mean? So, I just knew this was a losing battle right here. Obviously he has 5 mons left, I have 2, and they cannot touch this Reuniclus. So he's gonna kill off my Skarm. And all I have left is Rotom, hoping I could just at least do some damage with the Hydro Pump. And I could have probably played Rotom a little better too. Like reading the switches into Amoonguss, I should have done that instead of Volt Switching out, doing nothing really. So I go for the Hydro Pump, and actually it does like half. So that, I was really happy with that. I was like, oh nice Rotom, nice. But Rotom goes down to the Psyshock, and we lose week 2 against Eric and the Bristol Bidoofs. So that was a tough match. It was extremely tough. It was extremely long because he had a lot of bulk, and I was constantly switching and things like that. So I just want to talk about the match for a little bit, not for too long, because I don't want to make this video too long. But there was a lot of sets that I was going to bring. I was going to bring Choice Specs, Gaugy, and I was going to bring Infiltrator, Life Orb, Whimsicott. For some reason I told myself not to bring it, and I ended up not bringing it, which really affected the game because he has an extremely bulky team, and I had to play extremely hyper offensive. If I didn't, I thought I had an offensive enough team, but obviously I didn't, because I could not break down these walls. I think Infernape would have been a better bring, because it would really hurt his team. It has Shadow Claw in it. It has a lot of things that he might not be able to switch into so easily. So Infernape would have been a better bring maybe than I don't know who didn't do anything. Even Gallade didn't do that much, but obviously I played it wrong also. But if I just listened to my gut, I feel like I would have played a little better. I don't know if I would have won, but it would have been a closer game. It would have made Eric do maybe weirder switches, because Dragaji Specs just hits extremely hard. But also he would have, if he could just read my Specs Dragaji, it wouldn't work out so well anyways. But an offensive Whimsicott would have done a lot more than what it did. It really didn't do anything at all. So yeah, I didn't follow my gut in team building, and I didn't follow my gut in the game, and I was just playing extremely bad. So obviously doing that against such a good player like Eric is not gonna work, because Eric is extremely good. He plays very well with defensive teams, and I played like crap. So so that obviously I deserve to lose because I did not play too well and I didn't prep enough. So Eric, great game. That was an extremely good game. it was a long game. He had the momentum the whole time, but it was still a good game. Like, hey, if I lose, I'm still learning. I'm learning everything. Every time I lose, I learn something new. So it's not bad to me. Obviously, I want to try to win as much as I can, but when I lose, I do learn a lot of things. So it's like a win-win when it comes to stuff like that, especially against good players. You learn a lot from good players like Eric. So what else did I want to say? So I'm taking my gut seriously next time. I'm going up against Scissorsum in the Somerset Scissors next week, and I already started prepping and all of that because I'm really pumped. This loss made me pumped, like really pumped, because I know I can play better than this, and it made me pumped to try to play really well against Sizz next week. Sizz is extremely good. He beat Mono week 1, and it's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a tough game, but I have a good matchup, and if I play like I did week 1, I can do very well. So I'm just pumped to try to get back into this and try to get a week 3 win. So hopefully we can do that. So thank you guys for watching the video. I'm sorry I lost, but I'm gonna try my best next week. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna follow my gut, and I'm gonna play better. I can tell you that I'm gonna play better. So I'll see you guys in next week for week 3. And if you like this video, leave a like. If you like how Eric trashed me, leave a like. And also, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, because I love new subs and I love making videos for you guys. So thank you for everything. Have a great day. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your week. And thank you. Peace out.